Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me here at Happily in the Middle. Today I'm really excited to share with you my responses to the Iteachtoo teacher tag. Megan at Too Cool for Middle School created this last week, and I was so excited when I stopped and watched her video. And then I was really excited as more and more teachers in the YouTube community began sharing their responses. Now, I wanted to make my video basically as soon as I saw Megan's video, but we were getting ready to go on vacation, and so that's okay. It just, forced me to think about my answer to the questions and get to watch other people and meet other people in the YouTube community as well. Now, I'm really excited to participate in this because I am new to YouTube, but I've been really excited to make connections and meet other people in the YouTube community, and also just to grow and get better as a teacher. I just think it's always great to be collaborating and working together and learning from each other in the education field. My husband made me this cute little notebook that says Happily in the Middle because he's really creative and good at graphic design, and so I have written my questions down here, so you'll probably see me looking at my notebook, but let's get started. So question number 1 is, what do you teach and where? So last school year I taught 6th grade language arts and then 5th grade Read 180. But this next school year, I'm really excited. I will just be doing 6th grade Read 180, 6th grade System 44, and then 6th grade ELD. Now, I'm really excited about this year because it kind of completes this full circle experience in the ELA field. And so after having taught ELD this year, I will have had experience teaching pretty much every area within language arts, which is pretty exciting. And I currently teach in California, in the northern half of California. It's where I've spent most of my life, although I was born in Southern California and lived down there until I was 5, and then we moved up north when I was 5, and I did all my schooling and education, everything in Northern California. Question number 2, how long have you been teaching? Now, I've been teaching I think I just finished 6 years of teaching. I'm going into my 7th year, but it's a little complicated because my first year of teaching, I went August to February. And if you watched my first year of teaching video, then you know why I left in February. And then my second year of teaching, I was hired in January and finished that school year. And then every year since then, I've been teaching on the traditional schedule. It's just I always got hired late, and then that first year, it just didn't work out, and it was a rough year. You should watch that video. Question number 3, did you always know that you wanted to be a teacher? So when I was 9, I had this really amazing teacher in 4th grade. Her name was Mrs. Cousins, and I wanted to be just like her. And so I grew up knowing from about age 9 and up that I wanted to be a teacher. And I know in 7th grade we had a career day, and we were watching all these different people share about their jobs. And in my head I kept thinking, I just really want a job where I can love people. But there don't really seem to be any jobs where you just get to do that and you get a paycheck. And so I found teaching to be a great opportunity where I could come to work and I could just care about people and serve people, get a paycheck, but I get to do what I love to do, which is really just care about other people, and it's pretty awesome. When I was 15, I picked the university that I wanted to go to because I had gone on a summer project where I went to the inner city of West Oakland, and I think my youth pastor talked a lot about a special credential program in Sacramento that really focused on social justice, and so that's the program I decided to go into, and it's the program I graduated from. Question number 4, what is your typical teacher OOTD, which stands for typical teacher outfit of the day? Now, I worked for a couple years at a private school where we were not allowed to wear jeans, and so I had to wear slacks or nice dresses or slacks because those were my only choices. And every now and then I got to wear jeans on a school spirit day. Now, at my current school, we can wear jeans. It's kind of casual professional, and so I actually try and only wear jeans on Fridays, and then every other day of the week I just wear a nice dress or a skirt or slacks and a nice blouse. Question number 5, What do you usually bring for lunch? Now, typically I just make extra food at dinner time and then I pack the leftovers for myself and my husband. And so usually I'm just eating like leftover pasta, or I'm eating a salad that was leftover, or tacos that were leftover. However, there are probably once or twice a week and almost every day towards the end of the school year when things were just really busy and crazy, I just made a really boring peanut butter and jelly sandwich, brought it to school every day, and I would sit in the staff room with all the other teachers who had these really delicious smelling lunches, and I would eat my really sad peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But sometimes if I'm really, really feeling the need, I'll go around the corner from the school. There's a really great bakery that has really, really good food as well, and so I'll get a burrito from the bakery. Question number 6. What is one of your favorite books about teaching? So one of my favorite books, and I've talked about this in my book recommendation video, is The Tribes: Discovering Gifts in Middle School. So if we're talking like teacher books, Tribes is definitely one of my favorite teacher books that I've ever read. And I think it's because it has taught me a lot about the social emotional aspect of education and has really taught me the power of addressing those social and emotional needs and building inclusion and community and belonging in the classroom. And so I just love this book because it's a great resource. My spine is broken on it because I use it all the time. When I moved up to high school for a few years at the private school, I bought the high school edition of this book because it's that good. And so it's definitely my favorite teacher book. Now, I also really love, and I know you only asked for one, but I also really love Nancy Atwell and Kelly Gallagher. They're like my teacher heroes. And so I love Nancy Atwell's book In the Middle, which is all about middle school and writing workshop. And then I love Kelly Gallagher's book, Right Beside Them. And these two books have been really influential in my life as a teacher of writing and has really impacted my students' writing and changed my philosophy about writing. So I can't talk about my favorite teacher books without mentioning them too. Number 7, what is one of your favorite teacher movies? Now, I really love the movie Freedom Writers, and I love it because I'm a teacher of writing and I know how powerful writing can be in helping children process their lives and their emotional needs, and I love the way that Erin built relationships with her students and she really impacted and changed their lives, and it's just incredible what she did. However, I've always had this problem with the movie because in the movie you can see that she does go through a divorce with her husband, and I think it's really heartbreaking that in some ways, in order for Erin to succeed in her teaching career, she had to sacrifice many things in her private and personal life, and that ended up being her husband, I think. And so for me, I am married and I have a son, and when it comes down to it, I love serving and teaching and educating my students, but if it ever came down to a choice between teaching in the classroom and my family, I'll just always choose my family. And so that's kind of always been my big problem with the movie, because I feel like clips of this movie always get shown at professional development to encourage and inspire us as teachers, but it feels like no one ever talks about the sacrifice that it sometimes takes to be an incredible teacher. And yes, I want to be a great teacher, but it will not come at the cost of loving and serving my family. And so even though I love this movie, I really struggle with the sacrifice that she had to give up of her family. Number 8, who is one of your favorite teachers? Now, one of my favorite teachers I mentioned was Mrs. Cousins in 4th grade. In high school, I had a really, really good, I think he actually taught the history part, because my classes were cord in high school, so I had English cord with history. And so he was the history teacher, but everything just kind of blended together. Anyways, I loved Mr. Hafner. Now, there was a time when I was not happy with him because he was the yearbook advisor and he wasn't helping me, and I didn't know anything about being the yearbook editor, but that's the job that I had. But that aside, I loved Mr. Hafner because he really pushed us to be innovative and creative, and Sometimes he would give us examples of projects he wanted us to complete, but most of the time he told us that we needed to figure it out and solve problems. And as frustrating as that can be as a young person, I think that he taught my classmates and myself the power of innovation and really forced us to be critical thinkers and to critically evaluate the world around us. And so I just have always really appreciated what Mr. Hafner brought to my life as a student, and he was just like a really good teacher. Number 9, who are some of your favorite teacher YouTubers and Instagrammers or people on Twitter, etc.? So obviously I follow Kelly Gallagher because I just like him, so I follow him on Twitter. And then on YouTube, I really love Too Cool for Middle School because she teaches middle school. We teach a lot of the same classes. I feel like we just philosophically have a lot in common, and I love watching her channel because I feel like so many of the things she says and does and goes through, I go through too. And so it's just nice to know that you are not alone. Plus she just has a really fun channel. So you should definitely check out her channel. I also really like A Pocket Full of Primary. Now, even though I don't teach elementary school, it's just really fun to see into the elementary school classroom, and she seems like a really nice person, so I love her channel. Now on Instagram, I really love, I discovered I think maybe through YouTube or Instagram, Elementary Shenanigans. She is a teacher who teaches at the Ron Clark Academy. And so I've been really learning a lot about the Ron Clark Academy and just watching these amazing teachers do their thing. And they are incredible and inspiring. And so I really like her. There's also another one, Thrifty Teacher. I love that she goes thrift shopping for a lot of her clothes. She just has really great style inspiration. So if you want to search hashtag TOOTD, your teacher outfit of the day, you'll probably find her on there. She just is really cute style. Number 10, what is one of your best classroom management tips? This is so hard because there's so much to classroom management. So if I had to narrow it down, one of my best classroom management tips is to practice your routines and procedures. So start from the moment they line up outside of your door. How do you want them to line up, and make them practice it? Then make them practice walking in over and over and over. Make them practice sitting down and setting up for the do now, just over and over and over. And if they come in on like an off day and it's, I don't know, October, and you've practiced and you have done this over and they know the routine and they come in crazy, make them go outside and do it again. Just practice and practice and practice so they know you have those clear expectations. So question number 11, this is our last question today. What is one reason that you decided to become a teacher? Now, I mentioned earlier about my 7th grade career fair and how I just wanted to grow up to be someone who loved and cared about people. And so honestly, one reason that I grew up and wanted to be a teacher is because I wanted to grow up and love and care about people. And I moved 4 times during middle school, and I, for a time, lived in a home that was abusive. And I wasn't abused, but my mom was abused, and my stepdad was not a super great person or super great stepdad. And so I think having gone through all of those difficult times, knowing that my teachers were often the only consistent person in my life, and they cared about me and they smiled at me and they reassured me that things were going to be okay. And they just became really powerful, influential people in my life. And so that's the reason. I want to be someone who is consistent and just loves and cares about children so that they know that there is hope and that they're not alone. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm really excited I got to participate in the teacher tag for the Iteachtoo, and I'm really looking forward to watching other videos. And I know that I said I was going to share with you classroom management tips, but I just really wanted to do this video first. So I am working on the classroom management series, so please hit subscribe if you haven't done so that way you don't miss it. I also have a video coming out soon that's about what do you do now that you've got your first teaching position. So we went through the practice interview and we went through the tips for the interview. So what do you do now that you've got your position? Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss those videos either, and have a great day.